What's up guys, it's Will here, back again, and today we're here to do something very exciting, and that is to review the Prime 1 Studios Game of Thrones Night King 1/4 scale statue, the Ultimate Edition. Quite a mouthful. Guys, before we get started, make sure to click that like button, click that subscribe button, and click that notification bell so you are notified when content goes live on this channel. Gotta give a huge shout out to Comic Concepts. It's where I picked up this Prime 1 Night King Ultimate Edition. I saved a lot on shipping. It was about $183 to ship these two massive boxes, but from Prime 1 Direct, it was over $600 to ship them. So yeah, if you're interested in Prime 1 statues and hot toys and you want to save a little bit of money, check out Comic Concepts in the link in the description below. There's also a code down there, WillFox, $10 off your order, unlimited. You can use it on pre-orders, in stock, whatever you would like. Guys, with that said, let's jump into the review. The Night King Ultimate Edition is a 1/4 scale statue from Prime 1 Studios. This statue is meant to replicate the Night King's iconic moment from Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 8, Hardhome. This episode contained one of the best battles ever put to screen, but to be honest, it's less a battle and more a massacre. In this episode, we get our first display of the sheer force of nature that is the Night King and his army of the dead. This statue comes in two distinct versions. You have the standard edition, which just contains the Night King in his iconic pose atop the icy dock and frozen water, and then you have the Ultimate Edition that also comes with two wights standing at the ready to the rear of the Night King. Today we're going to be reviewing the Ultimate Edition, but in a way we're kind of reviewing both editions because we have everything here. Let's start by going over everything this statue comes with and the assembly process. The Night King Ultimate Edition comes in two separate boxes. Each box has a bottom layer of packaging and a top layer in a small styrofoam window. Everything is packaged safely and securely enclosed in tissue paper. The statue comes with an included instruction set, but I'm actually going to go through the assembly process with you right now. It's fairly straightforward, so it shouldn't take us too long. You're going to want to start with the base because it's the statue's foundation. The base is made of polystone and contains an insane amount of detail. It's just insane. There's dirt, there's blood effects, there's icy water underneath the dock, and of course plenty of detail on the wood planks of the dock, the ropes, and everything else. This base is heavy. Once the statue is fully assembled, it's going to weigh about 70 pounds. There's also a spot to connect the white base at the back, but more on that later. The next step is to connect the Night King to the base. There's a standard metal peg on the bottom of the foot that you slide into a hole on the base. This secures the Night King in place. The outfit has an insane amount of detail as well. It's a sculpted piece entirely, but there's a lot of weathering and layers of paint application that beautifully replicate the Night King's armor. There's even some glittery effects to replicate the look of snow, which is super cool. These are actually all over the base as well, and I'd recommend not touching these as much because they'll transfer to your hands and you'll just get glitter everywhere. You will make a mess, trust me. The next step is to connect the included axe to the front of the base. This axe has blood and other weathering and has a vertical pole that can peg into the base. Some of these weapon accessories are actually made of metal and are cold to the touch. It's pretty remarkable that Prime 1 made some of these weapons from die-cast metal. I love the attention to detail on those. Clearly no expense was spared. Next up, we have the bloody helmet. This pegs in via magnet right around the Night King's feet. It's not made of metal, so it's fairly lightweight. It's covered in blood effects and looks great at the front of the base. Now for the fun part though. Now we attach Night King's head to the body. It locks in via magnet and is a super strong and secure connection. The magnets on all three heads are too legit to quit. Those things ain't going nowhere. The head sculpt for Night King is just amazing though. Prime 1 excels at any and everything that isn't a human head sculpt. This Night King looks just how I remembered him from the show, and I personally am thrilled about that. His eyes have this deep blue paint application, and the head itself is like a lighter shade of blue with icy spikes simulating a crown of ice. We're going to fully assemble the Night King by connecting the arms next. Each arm magnetically connects to the shoulder and holds fairly securely, although not rock solid. These magnets are not as strong as the magnets in the head, but they do work fine if you just plug them in and leave it. Still though, the paint apps on the skin, the nails, the armor, it's all amazing. I just wish the magnets were a tad stronger, but for me, I just push them in all the way to make sure they're as secure as possible. And that actually completes the Night King's portion of the statue. So what you're looking at right now is the standard edition with just the Night King and a few accessories mounted to the base. There's still a fantastic presence to be had here, and it is a pretty great offering for $1,000. I love the base, and the Night King is iconic in this pose. The standard edition is about 27 inches in height, about 18.1 inches in width, and 17.3 inches in depth. With that said, let's assemble the Ultimate Edition. The first step is to connect the base to the back of the Night King's base. There is no magnetic connection here, so you'll just want to simply slide the two bases together. There's a very tiny gap between the two bases, but on display, you'll never see that. The base for the wights is very similar to that of the Night King, except that it has a few skulls and some additional weaponry. The dock also doesn't have the icy water effects underneath because this is the back end of the dock towards land. We're going to put the wights on the base next. We'll start with the left wight. He pegs in via a metal rod and locks in securely. You peg the head on the same as the Night King magnetically. You'll also want to peg in the axe to his belt. It's the lightest axe, so it holds very well. Super wise decision by Prime 1 there. He has a very undead look to him with his unnatural stance. His entire body is a sculpted piece and it's just awesome. There's weathering throughout, but I think the coolest part is the blood on the hand. This looks like a soldier who's seen his fair share of battle, and even death for that matter. And I love how immersive the details like this are on this entire piece. The right wight, tongue twister there, is actually pretty similar yet different. Each wight has the iconic blue eyes of the Army of the Dead, but the right wight actually has some fur elements. There's some fur that's attached to the front of the costume, and there's actually a fur collar that you wrap around his neck. This collar has wires so you can bend it until it sits natural around the wight's shoulders. I love both of these wights, and they truly take the statue to the next level, something I didn't anticipate coming into the unboxing. Before you actually put the head on, you'll want to attach the armor to the chest and then attach the armor to the back. Both are secured via magnets and hold securely. Next, you'll put the head sculpt on, followed by the real fur collar after you futz it to your liking. Our final step is to attach the remaining weaponry. You attach one knife via a long metal rod near the skulls, and then another knife on the other side near those skulls. And finally, a die-cast bloody knife that attaches near the boot of one of the wights. And that's it. That's the Night King Ultimate Edition officially fully assembled. Leading into my overall thoughts here, this Night King statue is simply incredible. Prime 1 clearly put a lot of love and care into the statue, and it shows. This Ultimate Edition of the Night King weighs about 70 pounds, and it measures about 27 inches in height, 18 inches in width, and 22.8 inches in depth. Essentially, the wights add about 5 inches in depth, so make sure you have the space to display them properly before buying. Speaking of buying, this Ultimate Edition costs about $1,900 plus shipping, and that's a lot of money. The edition size of this statue was $200 for the Ultimate Edition and $100 for the standard. It makes sense that the demand was low considering how the show ended, but I remain a huge Game of Thrones fan nonetheless, and Hardhome is easily one of the best episodes in show and TV history for that matter. I do think the value is decent considering you get 3 statues, but 2 of them are wights and not exactly everyone's favorite characters, but they work excellently as companion pieces to the Night King. The reason we buy these statues are for their presence and of course the feelings they invoke within us. This statue has an incredible presence, and for me, I have fond memories of watching The Massacre of Hardhome live on HBO. Whether it's the Night King or not, I highly recommend figure collectors consider picking up a statue, space and funds permitting, because the experience is just entirely different, as is the value they bring to your collection. This Night King statue is simply incredible, and although adding the 2 wights costs about $900 more, after seeing them in person, I feel they're essential to this piece. I do wish the arm magnets were attached stronger, but everything else on this statue just screams quality. I'm gonna give the Night King Ultimate Edition by Prime 1 Studios a 9.5 out of 10. Seriously guys, thank you for watching my review of the Prime 1 Studios Night King Ultimate Edition statue. It really was a lot of fun to review. It's just a beautiful, miraculous, marvelous, amazing piece of art. So I'm super happy to be having it in my collection. If you're not a statue collector, then consider picking one up at some point. They're pretty awesome and they have a lot of presence. Guys, if you did enjoy the content, please feel free to click the like button, click the subscribe button as well down below, and of course click the notification bell so you're notified when content goes live on this channel. We have a lot of great things here for collecting. There's collecting tips and videos we do there. There's reviews, there's live streams. We do live jobs for Hot Toys Artisan, and maybe we can do the other things. We do interviews. So a lot of important stuff that's on this channel that you're not gonna wanna miss. So drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think about the Night King. Any other thoughts you have about collecting, feel free. We can discuss down in the comment section. Guys, thank you again so much for watching, and I appreciate you for sticking with me through the end. Guys, I will catch you in the next video. Peace out. See you later. Bye.